All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 10K Bets Live. This is the sports betting show where we want you guys to get involved. We want you guys to complain. We want you guys to be happy. Tell us how you did this past weekend. That's what the Monday shows are for. And Thursdays, we hit you with our bets, and you get to decide whether or not you want to fade or ride the storm. Now, we are in March Madness, or better dubbed, in my personal opinion, based on how I've been doing, March Sadness. It's been a really, really tough go over in my side of things. We have a few of the guys missing out today as well too. Cam usually on the show. He is coming back from Vegas, I believe, or he's recovering, one or the other. We also have Renzi Boy, who somehow lost his internet. Josie sounded like he had the worst time ever in Vegas. So in with me today, we got Sammy Stats. We got Mike. Mikey boy, how the hell are you doing, buddy?
Well, I had a pretty good weekend.
Okay.
Besides one majorly bad bet on the Duke Blue Devils. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, 14-10 on the weekend. Can't complain. We come out even, just how the sports books want it. They keep the juice. But yeah, we live to fight another day.
Even isn't bad, man. I would have gladly taken even. I ended up putting out some big nuts plays that just kind of bit me in the ass. Sammy Stats started off hot, 15.
Yeah.
I think 15-0 day one on the
10-1. 10-1. Iowa being the only loser. But yeah, we had a great weekend. I think we ended like 17-7 or something like that.
Not bad.
We had a relatively awesome cover with TCU last night. So yeah, I mean, they just hucked up a prayer with 0.7 seconds or something to cover the 4.5. So yeah, it was really sweet there. And I got Mexico tonight. I heard they just got out to a 3-0 lead on Japan. So it's been rolling pretty well lately.
Oh, shit. I don't want to get too deep into baseball talk, but I kind of want to distract away from sports betting before we go back into March Madness, because, of course, that's what everybody's talking about. That's where all of our money's going right now. Cold take, I love the shot clock, or the pitch clock. I'm a huge fan of that personally. I know Cam is very adamant about that, but Mikey, I don't know if you were on for that episode where we had that little kind of heated debate where I told Cam he's a dipshit for thinking that the pitch clock is a stupid thing, or even the batter clock for that matter. But what's your thoughts on that? I think it's fucking awesome.
Oh, we got to pick up the pace, man. I mean, as a fan, I'm totally fine with sitting at the ballpark for 3 hours. The bar tab gets a little bit high, but yeah, we got to get the game moving. If we want butts and seats, you got to keep this game moving. It's so easy to lose, interest in the game throughout. Like sometimes I'm just scoreboard watching. I'm just walking around the stadium scoreboard. That's in the stadium. Now on TV, it's even worse, So, yeah, I think definitely get that pitch clock in there. And then I don't know if you've seen in the minor leagues the instant reviews that they're doing.
No,
there's like, and I think it's AA. They're testing out like strikes where they're like, can we just like look at that quick? And then it's like a 10-second review, and then it will overturn it. And so it's something they're testing out that might be coming to the big league soon. But there's a lot of players more worried about that because there's ways to fudge the system or where it comes across the plate and such. But super quick ways that you can improve the game and just keep it moving, because baseball could be a four-hour game if you let it. So
100%. Personally, I want baseball to be as over with as or especially with that many games like in hand as well too. Like, but I feel like by the time you get through, in my personal opinion, a quarter way through the season, I hate baseball at that point. I can't watch it anymore. And I'll get back to it as we start to get closer to playoffs, unless the Twins are sub 500 like they usually are. Then I tend to continue to stay away. But baseball can be draining. So I'm actually kind of excited to watch some games that'll go by relatively quick, or at least hopefully be entertaining. I just want to see a lot of the freakouts from like the getting timed out from getting back into the box. Or can you even step out of the box? You just have to get in
at bat, right?
Can't.
Oh, you do? You get one? I heard you like need to be staying in the box, or you get like a streak against you or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember who was it? Was it Scherzer that was toying around with people in spring training, where like he step off or something, but he'd come back on. I don't know. There's something weird, like cat and mouse game stuff. And then as soon as the batter steps back into the box, boom, that ball's coming.
It's got to be. It's gonna be one of those things. I'm sure where they have to iron it out over 3 or 4 years, like before they finally are like figure out what they actually want to do. But good job, baseball, attempting to stay relevant. You're doing your best. Good job. Appreciate that. But going back to off baseball, I'm sick of that stuff. We also did. Did I see that right? That Juan Soto got hurt, or he got. He might have been part of the. Edwin Diaz. What Juan Soto, I believe.
Diaz tore his ACL celebrating or something.
That's so funny.
Wasn't even playing.
That's a slippery slope, though. Yeah, it's a slippery slope because one of like the big, I don't even know how to describe this. Like one of the things that sucks about hockey, right? They don't want people to go to the Olympics because they're afraid they're going to get hurt. And then you see situations like this, which strengthen their argument, and everybody wants pro players in the Olympics, obviously, because you want your best to represent your company or your country. Sorry. And so then this shit happens, and it's like strengthens the argument that like the people and the GMs have about like not sending their players to go do this dumb shit. Like, I don't know if like it's the same way with baseball because I just don't pay close enough attention to that shit. I can't imagine most baseball players like, fuck you, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Because they make fuck you money where hockey players do not. Do not make fuck you money. Say that very loosely, but some of that, seeing this shit sucks. I hate that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, March Madness, let's talk about that. Basketball was a tough one for me. I talked about this last episode. I've become slightly addicted to live betting in a healthy, safe way, not like an actual addiction, but I've become obsessed with it, and I continue to land myself on the wrong side of everything, which sucks. And the worst part about this, Friday, I think it was the Blackhawks were playing somebody. I want to say it was like a really good team. It was like Pittsburgh or just something like that. It was, or maybe not Pittsburgh. It might have been like Boston or some shit like that. I have no idea. But the odds were at plus 940, money line Chicago. And I was like, I should do it. And then I got busy and forgot to do it. That would have made me back all of my money had I finally played it. Blackhawks pulled it off, by the way. So it's always the ones that you want to hit on that like end up like paying out big instead of the ones that you actually bet on. That's the shit part about it. But let's talk about March Madness, boys. How did your weekend go? What'd you guys end up doing? Who was your big plays, and where are you? What team do you have your faith in now? I guess where we'll start.
Mike, you want to start?
Yeah, I can start us off. I mean, since Wednesday of last week, Fairleigh Dickinson has had my heart. So very sad that they couldn't pull it out last night. FAU, public enemy number one right now, left in this tournament for trying that windmill dunk with 1 second left. I have no words to describe that. But anyways, I went 3-0 against the spread with Fairleigh Dickinson. I never thought I'd get 3 chances to bet on them. So really happy for that. Going forward, I mean, I didn't even watch both of their games fully, but I can just tell from scoreboard watching and what I did see, UConn might be the most dangerous tournament team left in this field. They play super fast. They score a lot of points. They play good defense too. It's like just a recipe for disaster. They could be a buzzsaw, whoever they run into. But still got 3 out of my 4 futures alive as well with
oh shit,
Bama, Texas, and Miami. Miami got the dub last night against Indiana. So 3 left with the Sweet 16. Chance at some profits. I think it would pay me out $1,500 on a $25 bet if Miami somehow finds a way.
Hell yeah. So, that's huge.
Love that.
The Sammy, what about you, my man?
Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend myself. Kansas State has continued to be a really good basketball team, especially against the spread here. I had them +3 money line and also a future to win or get into the Sweet 16, make the Sweet 16. So all those 3 cashed. They're playing really good. I don't have a future on them to win, but I'm going to look into one. I know they got a tough game with Michigan State coming up, who was just kind of average all year, but they got Izzo, and Izzo's the big March coach. And, so that one always worries me, especially with how well they played down the stretch against Marquette. So I'm a little worried there. I might see if they can win that game and then take the future. But as far as futures go, a couple went down. I had a Duke future. which, like Mike said, they just didn't play all that well. Tennessee's actually really good defensively too. So, that was a tough go, but I still have Alabama and Texas are my two big ones. Texas would be great. It was like 18-1 or something. So excited about that. And Alabama's just playing really good too. You can argue they haven't played a whole lot of talent. But they made Arkansas or whoever they played last, they made them just look horrible. Maryland. So I'm excited with how they are looking and where they can go here. But yeah, I had TCU, which would have loved. I got them like 55-1. They were close with Gonzaga there, but yeah, I mean Gonzaga is a really good team, and Timmy is like a damn near unstoppable. So you can't do much about it. He had 28 points. But yeah, so far Texas, Alabama, they need to keep going and rolling. And then looking into Miami as well, because they are red hot with Wong and Pack just left and right there.
Dude, and foot in my mouth, I had Kansas. Kansas was my big one. I was like, I think they look really fucking good. Nope. Psych. You know what I should have put my money on? 15 seed Princeton. Holy shit. What a team. They are shocking. I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Deep analytics here. Ready? I don't think Princeton's going to win the next game. I think just about everybody's saying that, but it probably has been saying that throughout the entirety of this tournament as well too. But they are playing absolute shocker to everybody. What do you think? Like, I didn't look up the odds, and I wish I would have. What do you think the odds are for Princeton to take everything?
They're probably still off the board, like plus 5,000.
Yeah, no, I think it's at least a plus 10,000 ticket. I mean, it maybe even higher just to get people to sucker bet it. Just try to believe in the story kind of thing. But yeah, I don't see them winning the next game. But I mean, I saw them losing to Missouri by 10-12, and they beat Missouri by 15. So, coming off Arizona and now Missouri, they're playing good teams and they're winning by a decent margin. So, who knows? Maybe they just have the magic right now.
And straight up, this feels like a trap game. And I just pulled it up as well. They're taking on Creighton, which you're like, they could. A 6 seed Creighton. They could. Feels like a trap game. I feel like I'm going to look at the odds, try and find it, hammer the Princeton money line, and then just like eat a big bag of shit on my way out. Like, I don't know about you boys, but that's.
Yeah, that's tough because Princeton's been playing really well. But Creighton, on the other hand, I mean, they just made Baylor look really bad.
Which is shocking because Baylor was a favorite for a lot of people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So right now, Creighton's a dangerous team. They got this Kalkbrenner guy down low that is really getting whatever he wants. And then they got Nemhard as guard. So, I mean, they can shoot well. They play decent defense. They make their free throws, and they're a good March team. So I really don't see Princeton getting past that. Maybe they cover that number. I haven't looked into if it's 6 or 7, maybe 8. But yeah, I could see Creighton also just waxing them.
Right. And I think they just kind of live and die by the 3 too, Princeton. And of course, as an Ivy League school, they make their free throws. The question is, will they get to the stripe enough for it to matter? Exactly. So I don't know. I can't with Princeton. I lost a future. I had a future on Arizona with them, but going back to Alabama, like the road there is not that tough. They got who do they got? They got San Diego State, good defensive team, and then the winner of Creighton Princeton. You're not scared of either of those teams the way Alabama's been playing lately. So gotta love the way.
I know a little bit of like a cakewalk, even though it's not. It's March, but yeah, I mean they've been playing so well on both ends of the court that, and then with the road they've been having. It just seems like they could almost walk into the Final Four, but we'll see.
I think the teams that could shake some shit up this weekend as well, or starting this week, is Xavier, Xavier and Texas. Either one of those to come out, they're the ones I feel like they could shake some shit up and really make things muddy at the very, very end there. Especially if they come out against Alabama, because like you said, I imagine Alabama has an easy walk. like just straight up. Like that's the feel of it. To be fair, like it's not like a deep analytics guy. You can literally look at the numbers and be like, yeah, Alabama should have an easy walk to it. But we've seen a lot of surprises so far. Shout out Purdue, you dunce caps, you stupid idiots. I can't believe that. But credit to you guys.
Xavier Texas team really good.
Yeah, I was saying credit to Purdue. At least their wrestler won that match. Yay. Good job. You did it. You had one shocker this week. Oh, two, I guess, technically, depending. It was shockers regardless. But, yeah, fucking tough. I don't know. Would you honestly consider throwing money on that Princeton Creighton one? I'm only asking because I think I might, like, get out of this and then look at the action right away.
I was just going to say that because I was like, well, all right, just when you think they have a cakewalk to a national title, that's when the crazy stuff happens. So I'd say maybe sprinkle Princeton, sprinkle San Diego State, because I think Bama's like 9.5-point favorites against them. Which it's like they were up there. And it's like SDSU plays really good defense. They don't allow a lot of possessions. They really use the entire shot clock. So I don't know. It might be tough. It might be tough to like pull away from a team like that, even with how red hot Alabama's been. So those are the teams that I looked at.
I totally agree. Like, I saw it. It was at 7. So
7.
And just like we say in our group chat, fuck it, we ball. I honestly might just sprinkle some shit. I gotta say, hot seat, maybe not hot seat. I'm having a tough time this week, and the reason why it's going so bad is I put up two 4-leg parlays both times, and one of them I'm pretty sure I based on Sammy Stats' pick one day, and both times, either way, regardless, the first game is lost. And I was trying to think to myself, would I rather lose that first game or would I rather lose that final game? I feel like it hurts a ton knowing that you immediately fucked up.
Yeah, get me to the last game. Give me the chance every time.
Yeah,
that's the way I think about it.
Yeah, I think it's tough because if you lose the first game, it's like, well, at least I can't get heartbroken. It's over with. It's done. If I like that second game a lot, I can bet on that second game. But yeah, you do want to get over that first leg hump so you can have like a chance at the parlay.
I'm a dreamer. Let me have it.
Yeah, and the worst part is it was Arkansas, though, or not Arkansas, Kansas and Arkansas. That was the one I had the most faith in. I was like, Kansas, we got this. I was like, I think they're fucking stellar, but didn't see the Razorbacks being as good as they actually are. But I think they're another team that's going to get absolutely slaughtered by UConn as well too. I think UConn's got a stud basketball team. Saying that, I just mushed them. They're going to lose to Arkansas as well too. So I guess we'll see. Take that with a grain of salt. What I just said to you, but. I don't know, college basketball, and I'm starting to get into it. I'm glad that I did because the past 2 weeks have been incredibly exciting for me. Like, I actually have something to, like, look forward to. Whereas, like, hockey, we started talking about that. Like, hockey is definitely my go-to. It's one where I feel like I'm the most knowledgeable in. Let's go Rangers future. But hockey is the worst thing to bet on. And we got college hockey coming up here as well, too, which we'll touch on a little bit here as well. As you see, Mikey's rocking that Mankato lid. I think I'm done with hockey. I think I'm going to do college hockey straight up. I'm just going to. I'm probably going to just ride the Gophers all the way to the end because they have such a sick squad. Michigan is an absolute wagon though as well too. They're definitely ones I think can take everything, and they'll be good as long as they continue to have all those stud NHLers on their squad. But hockey is one I think I'm done betting on. It's not fun. It's not interesting. The games are always boring. The lines are always 1.5. There's never anything like it's goofy because it feels like a game within a game when it comes to college or hockey betting in general. It's just like it can only go one of two ways. It's like a coin flip, but it's not a coin flip. Like, it's really weird. I don't even describe the feeling that I get when I bet on hockey, but it just pisses me off. And it never goes my way, ever.
Give it a month and a half, and it'll be your favorite sport to bet ever. Once playoff hockey gets here, that is literally the best form of sports betting right there. You know, like the chances and the opportunities are just not as abundant as they are in college basketball or, you know, football or anything like that. Like, when you get a scoring chance, it's like it gets your blood pumping. You get those the first period unders, you know, just game going to OT. Man, I am romantic about playoff hockey betting. It is unbelievable. Awesome. I love it.
It's some of the most fun I've ever had in betting. Period. It's the games are jam-packed. You see totals at 5.5, all Stanley Cup playoffs, because it's just a battle down low all game, and defensive hockey. It's awesome.
And then you
I
get
think
back against the wall
coming out of
teams.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, especially game sevens. I look forward to like game 7, game 7 betting more than anything coming up here. But you're right. You know what? I shouldn't be down on hockey. We're not quite there yet. Let's talk hockey though. College hockey. We have Gophers coming in at the number 1 seed. I don't know where you guys stand for your fandom. Like, where do you guys actually sit for who you cheer for?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So obviously, as a Mankato grad, it's the only D1 sport we got, so big time. But like, I love the Gophers and everything else, but I think this year's gonna be tough, and they have a chip on their shoulder. If Mankato wins on Thursday, they're coming for them because they've bounced them 2 years in a row, and this might be the year that Mankato gets what's coming to them. But they got a lot of experience coming back as well. I will be betting on Mankato, pride bet, so feel free to fade. But yeah, I think the Gophers are far and away the best team in this tournament. I'm maybe not far and away, but there's those 3 of the 4 1 seeds probably could win the national title. And then I don't know if I have any. There's a couple. The field might be a little watered down this year because there's a couple teams that stole bids, like Canisius and Colgate, where they took bids from other teams, and it's like so maybe that kind of hurts the field a little bit, where it's going to be a little top heavy, I think, this year.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Sammy, what about you? Where do you land?
I don't really have a team. I know the Gophers are very, very good, up and down, fast style of hockey, good defense, good goaltending. If I was gonna bet on this, I would probably bet. I know the Gophers are like 6 or 7 to 1 to win it. But I do know there's a little bit of value in Quinnipiac as well. So I would look into those two. I know Quinnipiac's a pretty deep team and old as well. A bunch of 4, 5, 6+ year guys. But other than that, I don't know a whole ton. I didn't watch really a ton all year. More into the NHL side. But if I was going to bet it, I would say Michigan, Minnesota, or Quinnipiac. And you'll probably have a decent shot at maybe making an opportunity for a hedge. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to give you for that one.
I weirdly think we're not like, if you guys want honest, like really, really good college hockey, like feedback or like responses, I guess if you want to get deep into the analytics, make sure you guys check out the Has-Beens as well too. The Has-Beens 10K, which has former Nodak Natty champions hosting that show, as well as Veach. Veach is a very opinionated Bulldogs kind of guy, but he's definitely want to check out. Make sure you guys check out the Has-Beens as well too. But if myself, I went to Bemidji State, Skull Beavs. They are never going to be good at anything and probably never will be. And so Gophers, I grew up a Gopher fan. It got to the point. I'll tell a funny story. Growing up, I liked Gopher hockey more than anything. It was like me and my old man's thing. My dad has this very funny story that he tells where my dad's a scumbag. Let's get this out of the way first and foremost. My dad is a piece of shit. I love him to death, but he's a little rat. He was at a bar and he was going out to the Gophers and Nodak game. And I love to tell this story because here's what happens. My dad is not tough. He's a very sensitive man. He cries a lot. But what he did was he was at this bar. They walk in completely packed, right? He goes up to the bar. He's like, there's got to be somewhere on the bar stools, or we'll snag a beer from there and we'll walk around and mingle and shit. Well, he goes up to the bar, completely packed. There's 2 empty spots. And he goes over there. He goes, oh, maybe those chairs are, let's quick get to him. He gets to him, right? On the bar stools are North Dakota Fighting Sioux jackets, just hanging over the edge of those bar stools, right? What my old man does, grabs those jackets, throws them on the floor, and sits down in that bar seat. Sure enough, 2 people from North Dakota come over and says, hey, buddy, we were sitting in those spots. And my old man turns. He goes, fucking so? And the Nodak people left. It's probably the most badass my father has ever been. But like we were deep into the rivalry, or deep into like any of that shit back in the day. And now college hockey's changed so much. There's new conferences. It's kind of a nightmare. But getting back to like seeing a bracket that has 3 Minnesota teams piled up together is going to be a fucking fun. Like, especially in that second round there, that's going to be a blast. Whoever comes out of that, I honestly think St. Cloud State's going to come out of that one over Mankato personally. But I think whoever comes out of that one, we're going to see an absolute banger of a game for that round 2. Excuse me. So, oh yeah, my old man, piece of shit. What a rat. I can't believe that. So, City Life Project, go Gophers. Love that. So I think like outside of Mikey Boy, you probably got us all on the Gophers here. Like I think we're all riding with you, and at least until Cato loses out, then we'll see what happens. But,
awesome.
But anything else you boys got from college hockey? I honestly think Denver has the easiest walk to the end personally. Quinnipiac, sneaky underrated jerseys, by the way. I'm a big jersey guy. If you guys didn't know, read any of my blogs, like half of them are about jerseys. So Quinnipiac, sneaky great jerseys. But we could talk about one thing I wanted to highlight. I was really hoping Cam was here for this one, or even Josie, because Josie obviously was. Well, let's pull this one up real quick here. But Josie was obviously losing a ton of money in Vegas. But who made money on Leon Edwards last weekend?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Of course
Plus
he did.
210.
Of course he did. But
I took both underdogs, Gaethje plus 225, and then Edwards plus 210. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Edwards just came in there and kind of kicked the shit out of him. I thought he won like 4 rounds. So
yeah, it was funny because didn't Cam have money on it as well too, or what am I thinking of a different fight? Because he was asking for updates because he couldn't
Cam
see
had
it.
Usman.
I think they changed the channel.
And Usman. I felt kind of bad.
Well, it's funny because in that text thread, like I'm in the middle of getting tattooed, and I got my phone on my lap, and it just goes bzz, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And it's because you're giving him like scorecard updates. It's like round 2, it looked like it was I would have scored at 10-8. Like you're giving the full thing. Like they ducked at point.
I tried to give him everything.
You really painted the picture. I feel like I was at the fight. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Las Vegas
I was trying to give him some good detail.
Yeah. Las Vegas is one of the hardest places ever to like find a UFC bar too. So like Cam is like impossible. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went one time for a McGregor fight, and we were at like the Tilted Kilt over by the link, where we were out on the street watching through the window to try to get a glimpse of the first Diaz McGregor fight. And we sat like that for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. And it was like the most ridiculous thing, but it felt like half of the strip was just outside this one bar trying to look through. But yeah, I mean, no one wants to pay the ridiculous pay-per-view prices these days. So you can't go anywhere to watch it there.
Well, and Sammy, you said they did deduct a point around, right?
Yeah.
During that fight? Yeah. So this guy was probably feeling great.
3. Yeah. Round 3. He was grabbing the cage or something, and Herb Dean took a point. I don't really know if that was warranted or not, but he made the call, did what he had to do.
Dude, that would be Herb Dean. If anybody's gonna fuck something up, it's Herb Dean. There's nothing. Nobody catches more flack from people besides like Joe West. Herb Dean and Joe West are probably up there for like people that just fuck up the most.
Yeah.
Well, who's the other fucking? I can't think of his name. The other umpire that catches shit.
Scott Herzog.
Not who I'm thinking of.
Okay. Angel Hernandez.
Yeah. Oh my god, just brutal.
Oh, there you go.
There was also a really dope. I saw a video the other day where this umpire got suspended. I don't know what league it was in, but like he got in his own head because the batter like called him out for something, and the pitcher threw a breaking ball that went way outside, way fucking out. Like the catcher had to dive to like catch it in order to get that one, and he called a strike on him, and that was the final third strike to get out of the ending. That dude got suspended hard. I love that shit. Like umpires are the worst. You guys are dorks. Like clean it up. No, you know who probably was an umpire? Renz. I feel like Renz would be he would make for not a good one, but he definitely makes for an umpire, right?
Oh yeah, I could see it.
He would be the Angel Hernandez of 10K, 100%.
Well, I just do it just to fuck with people. I just feel like, I don't really know what a striker ball is. I just, everybody's out.
So why are you asking me? Well, you're the umpire. He's like, I don't know. I could see that for sure. The one thing I want to bring up though, and this is what I was saying, is I was really hoping that Josie or Cameron was here because they were talking about first to 15 bets and how much money they were making. And I just got off the phone with Jack Bossman at 10K as well too. He said no lie, they were hitting, it was like 80 to 85% of their first to 15 bets. And the reason I was hoping Josie was here was because he kept complaining about how much money he was losing and just not listening to the people that were there with him. Like that's if they hit 2 of those in a row, I'm fucking hitting everything. Like I don't even care what the game is. I'm throwing money at all of them. Like it's crazy. They found the formula and ended up walking away with quite a bit of money there. So good for them. First to 15s. I've never even heard of that.
Same. That's a cam bet right there.
That's a real degenerate, like kind of scummy back alley bets that Cam likes to throw
money in the crumbs.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm getting sued for this one here. All right, so we got the ripping into the Maple Leafs hat. Now listen, I hate Leafs more than your own mother. Listen, you and I hate the New York Rangers more than anything. It's mainly because of Artemi Panarin, but we don't need to go down that route there. But the Maple Leafs, do I want to put this out there? Sammy, tell me not to do it, or tell me to do it.
Don't do it.
Do it.
I think it's the Maple Leafs year. It's bold.
They get out of the first round.
This is the one where someone clips this and sends it back to me. It's like, you're a dipshit when they lose in the first round because the East is fucking stacked and they're going to come up against somebody that's fantastic. And Ryan O'Reilly will just be coming off of his finger or whatever, and it's going to screw me. But Leafs here, hear me out. And the only reason I don't have money on the Leafs future is because the payout wasn't great. Like I got the Rangers at 1,100. I was going to look at, I think I told you guys this story as well too. Like I don't mean to backtrack or go away from this, but I told my buddy, his boss asked for futures from me. And I was like, all right, cool. I gave him Hurricanes. I gave him Rangers. I gave him Boston. I was like, nobody from the West I'm confident in. I was like, if you're going to play anything, play those 3. I found out that this son of a bitch didn't listen to me and is now super, super mad because his son or son-in-law apparently was like, do the Flyers. He put money on the Flyers. Fucking lost big time. So he's in a bad spot. But I'm feeling good about my previous picks. So if I miss on this one, I'm just going to reference back to that story where I'm like, hey, remember when I said these guys were absolute wagons before the year? And now I am putting a little bit of faith in Toronto for no reason at all. Because it has to break through one time, right? It just has to.
Mm-hmm. They're so due.
Whoa. Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. I totally misread that as well, too. But please, God, imagine if this is the year Minnesota does it. As weird as that sounds, like this is the team that none of us really had faith in. We're like, we just got to get past these buyout periods. And somehow they're able to pull it off. But they're getting depth scoring. They have unbelievable depth in the AHL as well, too. So your Black Aces, by the time you get to playoffs, if somebody goes down, not only are we typically skating with like 7 defensemen, 8 defensemen, which is a great problem to have, but the fact that we have Black Aces and these young kids that are hungry and very, very good that are ready to play. Like imagine if this is that year and somehow Gustafsson just we hop on the Gus bus and floor it 130 down the road and we end up winning that Stanley Cup. This would be one where I think I would cry. I personally would game tears on TV at the parade, crying mainly because of alcohol, but still crying either way. This is the year where I would fucking lose my mind I kind of love this because I'm not bought into the team yet. Because usually I'm really bought into the team and then it hurts me. So this is where I think I'm going to get shocked. Like, oh, it is our year. But
get a surprise boss man, a bald boss man, right?
Oh, eyebrowless boss man. Yeah, that's what I really want. The skydiving. It's also crazy that like he put an order of like what sucks, like least to most. He goes shaving my head, shaving my eyebrows, and then it was like skydiving. It's just like I would rather skydive than shave off my eyebrows personally, because you have to go everywhere with that. Like that's crazy. I think the only reason it's okay because he's in content. Like so every video you go to, whether it's about his eyebrows or not, you're like, fuck's up with that guy. You're just like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you may go back and find that video or whatever. But I don't know. I personally would rather skydive myself, and I fucking hate heights. I'm not interested in that shit.
Same.
But I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't know. And then I think he said for the Stanley Cup, he's just gonna have to show his dick. And that was like his thing. He's just gonna whip his dick out. And I feel like us as a company, as bad as it sounds, we kind of got to hold him to it.
I kind of agree.
I'm not ready to comment on that yet.
We'll see where we get. Then we'll convert you to a dick flasher. It's gonna happen. But boys, anything else? What do you guys got for this week? Anything special? Any bets coming up that you're really liking that we can let these viewers know where they can guaranteed but not guaranteed to win some money?
I got 4.
Ooh,
I got 4 Dell Technology match play outright. I got Scotty 7-1, Rom 10-1. Actually, I got 5 of them. Hovland 22-1.
Ooh.
Xander 22-1, and Finau 25-1.
Okay.
All 5 of those guys are good enough to win it. Getting great value on Xander, Hovland, and Finau. And then I took the chalk with Scotty and Rom because they've been playing that hot.
I gotta say, I feel like Finau always rests in that spot. He's always like in those like mid to high like numbers when you're like, it can happen, and then it just doesn't happen, which is the heartbreaking part. But that's I like those. Hovland is one I don't think I've heard anybody say, which is very surprising because he's a stud golfer and he's been kind of kicking ass recently as well. Kicking ass, we'll say very loosely.
Really well.
Yeah, he's playing great for the kind of golfer that he is. But that's just like Renzi said, classic Sammy. Just got random fucking just sure as shit. He's got something on the docket. So Mikey, what about yourself, man?
I mean, on Thursday we get to see Gonzaga as an underdog. I mean, I gotta hammer that. I have to. What have they been underdogs maybe once or twice in the last 2 full seasons? So yeah, I'm hammering them. If you get it anything over even money, plus 105, plus 110, yeah, I'm hammering that for a couple units. I still got to make up for that terrible Duke loss. And then on Friday, Miami's a 7-point dog. I really like riding with Miami. So I'm going to take Miami for 2 units, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with 1 unit on the money line. So actually, no, we're going to take 3 units on the spread so we can get a little profit even if they don't win.
I like that.
Not bad, boys. Well, I think we can call it right here. As a reminder as well, too, we tend to do the show every Monday, every Thursday. I usually don't have this marble mouth, but I've been in and out of meetings all day long. And so Thursday is when we kind of get into our bets for the weekend as well, too. As a reminder, participation show. We want to show your guys' pick. Renzi, I shouldn't even put this on the screen because you can't be bothered to show up today's episode, but comment along the whole thing. Michigan State -2 versus Kansas State. Fade him. He's cold as fuck. But I don't know, boys. I'm excited. Do I need more March Madness? I feel like we're getting into the nitty gritty of everything. And as we like to say in our group chat before I send us off here, fuck it. We ball, boys.
Ball.